Welcome, everyone. Welcome, 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 welcome. Hey, Jimmy, can you hear me now? Okay, awesome, awesome. Okay, let's go and get started, guys. Hey, Bill, you can hear me?
I can hear you.
Awesome, awesome. All right, guys, we'll go and get started in a few minutes. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Corey, welcome. Guys, we'll get started shortly. This evening, we'll go over stocks, options, and ETFs. So stocks, options, and ETFs. We'll get started shortly. Hey, Stella, welcome, welcome. We'll get started shortly, guys. We'll get started shortly. Well, a big move in the markets today. Really watching Bitcoin. We'll go over that. And, we'll go over equities. All right. So stocks, options, and ETFs will be the focus this evening. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let me share my trading screen. And the first thing we'll go over, I'll go over the markets, and then we'll open the floor. If for any questions you guys have, any charts you want to take a look at, we'll do that. And we've been talking about this for a while. We know that we're in the markdown phase with the indexes, so the Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ. All right, but holding support, right? They're all holding support. All right, so here's the Dow, S&P, NASDAQ, and the Russell. And I went ahead and put in these support and resistance lines here, so that you guys can see what we're dealing with, all right, with these markets. All right, you want to be extremely careful going long. All right, we do not have any buy signals on these indexes. And as you guys know, right, most of the stocks, a large percentage of stocks will follow the broad indexes, so the Dow, S&P, NASDAQ, and Russell. So we've got sell short signals on all of the indexes, so that hasn't changed. All right, so sell short signals, that's our red arrows right here, right? We've got red candles. You guys should see my cursor. If not, please let me know. All right, so red candles, sellers are definitely in control. All right, they are holding support here. This is on the daily time frame. So clearly prices are making lower highs, lower lows. So we are definitely moving down. You know what? Let me do this. Let's do a trend line like here. I think that will help you guys. So we'll do a trend line like this here. All right. So downward trend line. Let's make this yellow. All right. So downward trend line here. And this is similar. This downward trend line is similar for all the indexes. Okay, so downward trend line, here is support. We'll make this support. Let's do this. So here is support right here. All right, so downward trend line, lower highs, lower lows. Okay, lower highs and lower lows. Hey, Travis. Hey, Travis, welcome. All right, so I'll go ahead. I'll draw this. I'll draw in this downward trend line for the rest of these. All right, so that that keeps us focused on what's happening with all of the indexes. Okay, so they're definitely in a downtrend. All right, because I know sometimes we might have an up day. And just because the market finished up for the day, it doesn't mean it's the overall trend has changed. Okay, so so still selling in the markets. The big thing is that they're holding support. So what we need to happen is we need for support to break. All right, so we need support to break down in this area in here. All right. So the direction is short. We have sell short signals on every single index. All right. We just need prices to go lower. The VIX is at 31 currently. All right. So it's still holding above 20. Right. So as volatility goes up higher, you guys should notice as the VIX volatility goes up, stock markets, these indexes will go down. All right. If you guys are going to trade stocks, you want to be very quick, be very selective. Currently, all the sectors are down. So all the sectors, all the top sectors that we trade, that we watch, those are all down, right? We have energy that's neutral right here, but the rest are all pointing down. And then here are the indexes here, all pointing down. VIX is pointing up. All right. You might find some opportunities in energy. All right. So natural gas, gasoline, energy, right in here. But again, be careful. All right. Be careful with this market. All right. The big news right now is Bitcoin. All right. So Bitcoin broke the support, near-term support that we've been watching. And none of these should be a surprise. All right. None of these should be a surprise. All right. This market, these sectors shouldn't be a surprise. We've been talking about this. We've been following this price action. All right. So it should not be a surprise. Bitcoin, this downward move should not be a surprise, right? Right. We're clearly in the markdown phase. All right. It's been consolidating. All right. Red candles, sellers are in charge. All right. We had support right here. We got a sell short signal. Let me open this up. All right. So sell short signal right here on a break of this support. All right. And we got a big move today, moving lower. All right. So this should not be a surprise to anyone. Hey, Daniel, welcome. All right. So right now, Bitcoin is at 36,529 right here. Sell short signal. The target that we're still watching for Bitcoin is 30,000. All right. So we are still watching that target. The next target that we have for Bitcoin. All right. And I know this is the equities class, right? But I want to go through this because this is a big move today. All right. So 34,000 was the low here. All right. And we've got some support in here. This is not strong support, but we do have support here at 34,000. All right. We can break 34,000, we'll go to 30,000. 30,000 is the big support that we're looking at. All right. All right. I just wanted to cover that because that's pretty big. We've got sellers definitely in charge, sell short signal. All right. So again, next target 30,000 unless things change. All right. All the cryptos are moving higher. All right, here, Gerald. All the cryptos are moving higher, so their trend is starting to trend a bit higher. They're getting above 20. All right, so they're no longer consolidating. All right, so Ethereum, right, Bitcoin Cash, they're all starting to trend a bit, breaking out. Okay, but to the downside, All right, let's take a look at Stock Boss. I am surprised by this, all right? We're seeing more stocks with this market going lower. We got more stocks in Stock Boss, okay? But eventually, like I said, right, eventually these stocks will follow the overall trend of these sectors and these indexes, all right? But we did get some stocks today, all right? If you're going to trade equities, you can look at energy. Energy is holding, right? So some of these energy stocks are holding, but again, be very, very careful. All right, be very careful. All right, sometimes healthcare, all right, and consumer services, consumer staples, right, might be a safe haven, all right? So just be careful trading equities. If we break this support, we'll know tomorrow, right? We'll know tomorrow, all right, whether the support holds tomorrow and next week, right? All right, whether the support holds for these indexes, all right? But be careful. Let's see here, Bull Master. Here's Bull Master, right? So we got some stocks, and I'm surprised by this. I am surprised by this. Those of you who trade Stock Boss and Bull Master, we haven't seen stocks like this for several days, probably a couple of weeks, all right? So things are starting to pick up, but I would be careful, right? Right, because if we look here, these sectors are down. Sectors are down, these indexes are down. So that might not be real money getting into these these stocks in here. All right. So just be careful. If you're going to trade these, if you're going to trade stocks, make sure that they clearly went through a markdown phase. You're not buying them at a high. Right? You're not getting in at a high, you're getting in at the bottom, all right, where they've gone through that markdown phase, all right? They've gone through that markdown phase, now in accumulation and breaking resistance. So if they've moved up, all right, and making new highs like this, I would be careful, all right? Energy still looks strong. All right. Technology, I would be careful with technology. All right. So I know Heat Seeker looks great. I'm really surprised at Heat Seeker. Here would be a good opportunity if you're going to trade, if you just have to trade. And I would recommend perhaps moving your time frame. So rather than a daily time frame, right, so that you could get out quickly if things turn around, you could do a 240 or even a 1 hour time frame. All right, that if you're going to look for opportunities like this. All right, Look for opportunities where you've got tight support and resistance. This is the time where you have to be not only nimble, but you've got to be quick, okay? So that if things change quickly, you can get out quickly, all right? So get tight support and resistance, all right? Tight support and resistance, right? Wait for the price to come down through this markdown phase, okay? All right, accumulate, all right, accumulate, wait for buyers to come in, big candle like this, all right? Buyers to come in, buy signal, right? Green candle, and get in, all right? Do not get into stocks, all right? If they're breaking new highs, all right? If they're doing this, right? That move is already over, right? Here was the buy signal here, right? At 27 as an example, and the price is all the way up here, all right? Hey, Eric, welcome, all right? So be careful. If you guys have to trade stocks, make sure you get those stocks after, right? You get in after that markdown phase, so that if the market turns, guess what? You're at the bottom. You're not trading at the top, right? You're not trading at the top. Oh, let me find one here. You're not trading at the high, all right? So ETFs, you know, we don't spend a lot of time on monster ETF, all right? But as things, if the market continues to move lower, we'll see a lot of short ETFs. All right, so we're starting to see some rates in here. So bonds are starting to pick up. So we have the 7 and 10-year bond, short, ultra short. So as these bonds go down, guess what? We can take advantage of opportunities to the upside. Okay, so these are ultra short bonds. All right, so 7 and 10-year treasury bonds. All right, here is the 20-year bond right here. The TBT, all right, those are moving higher, all right, but not a lot of opportunities in heat seeker for monster scalper, but things are picking up. Things are definitely picking up. We haven't seen the bonds move in monster ETF, so that's good to see. All right, any questions on this? I'm going to open the floor. So any questions on any of this? Any symbols you guys want to take a look at, want me to take a look at? All right, so just go ahead, but market is definitely bearish, okay? So be careful. Any questions, any symbols you guys want me to take a look
at? When you say the market is bearish, does that include the oil and gas and energy sector?
Well, Eric, that's a good question. That's your only opportunity, right, that you might have. And but even with energy, we need to be careful. All right. So out of all these sectors here that we watch, they're all down. Every single sector is down except for energy right here. All right. All right. This is the VIX. The VIX is up, right? The index is here down, all right? Energy is neutral right here, but we've got gasoline, natural gas, right? All these right here. So that's your only play right now. That's your only play. Technology down, right? Financials are down, materials are down, right? Biotech down, home builders are down. All right, utilities, usually a safe haven, that's down. All right, consumer staples, so energy, and we see that price action here in Stock Boss. So we've got a few here. All right, but like I said, right, if they've moved up quite a bit, be careful because this market, it's near a big support. Right? It's near big support. So the market could break down, break support at any time. We've got some energy in here. All right. And that's not bad, right? We've got quite a few energy stocks here in Bullmaster. Okay. But if you haven't, if you were not in these right here, all right. So Eric, if you guys are not in these after that markdown phase, catching that new buy signal to move higher, you can't get in. It's too late. This move with energy started early in the year. All right, early in the year. All right. Shorting, if you guys are going to get short the market, if you're going to short or get puts, you need to be careful. All right, you need to be careful because we're still holding support. So buyers could absolutely come in and push the market higher. So, you know, we're in an area where there's a lot of indecision. Yes, we're in a markdown phase, right? But prices, they're still holding that support area. They're not trending. All right, they're not trending. So if you guys look here, all right, price is stuck right between support here and resistance here. But based on what's happening, we could see another leg down. All right, we could see that's what the price action is telling us right now. All right, is that we could see another leg down. All right. All right. Any other questions?
Yes, sir. I had a question about the company called a Datadog or a DDOG.
Okay.
It's a growth stock. It had a very violent move up during the pandemic, and I don't see it sustaining those high valuations when it doesn't even really have a true profit margin. And it just looks like it's falling below support now. So I wanted to see if possibly this can continue its downward dive.
Okay, what's the symbol, Eric?
Oh, sorry, sir. It is a DDOG. D as in Delta, DDOG as in goat.
Okay, thank you. I will pick it up in a minute here. Okay, so this is what I want you guys to take a look at. Take a look at the Russell here. Okay, so when I talk about another leg down, okay, this is what I'm referring to. All right, so here was the high. Price came to this area here. Now, so this is one leg down. This is a second leg down. Okay, so we could get another leg down. All right, sell signal, sell short signal here. All right, we have to respect these sell short signals. All right, so sell short signal here. All right, and if you guys look here, it is the price. We don't have buyers coming in like this. We don't have buyers coming in, right? This is the markup phase. This is when we should be buying. All right, now we're in the markdown phase. All right, so we should not be surprised. And Eric, I'll put up your stock in a minute here. We should not be surprised when this happens. This is the goal. This is why we do this. All right, so that we can anticipate the next move, right? So that we are not surprised, we're not caught off guard. All right, so the next move, right? Anything can happen, we know that. But the next move, based on the price action, based on what's happening here, right? That we're in the markdown phase, the next target for the Russell is down here. All right, that's where we've got the next support level down in this area here. All right, understand if this happens, stocks will continue to move lower. All right, the market will continue to move lower. Okay, so that's what we're watching right now. Just like we're watching Bitcoin, right? For another leg down to 30,000, we're doing the same thing here with the markets. All right, so let's take a look at your stock here, Eric. So DDOG. What time frame, Eric?
The daily.
And what are you looking to do?
Go short, because it looks like it's cracking the support that it touched. It touched it back in January one time, touched it again in March, and now it's here again, and it looks like it's falling below it.
Let's bring in our short signal.
So I'm thinking this can have a whole another leg lower.
Okay, so good job here. All right. I was getting worried about you.
I was a little off my game last time, but I told you I'll study up.
You will, yeah. So good job here. Let's take a look here. All right. So on the daily time frame, and you can bring on a 60 minute. I wouldn't do 30, perhaps a 60 minute to help you with your entry. Okay. But this is a good setup. Let's bring this up here. So here's your triangle here. Here's your triangle. Yes. All right. The previous, so this is support, and you've got pretty good support here. All right. You've got support here. So you've got support here, which is previous resistance. All right. Previous resistance here, previous resistance. It's now support here. All right. Also here, this is where it gapped up here. So also here. All right. Here, here, and here. So this is a big area here. All right. So this is a big area here. What sector is this in?
It's I think it's technology. It's a software company.
Okay.
But it's a growth stock. So
okay.
You know.
Okay. So I would follow the watch the NASDAQ. Watch to see what the NASDAQ does. Okay.
Okay.
So here is your sell short signal. So the sell short signal came in right on that break of support. All right. So
nice.
Yeah, perfect. So you've got sell, red candles, sell short signal. So you could take this trade. The only concern is that, let's see, we'll take a look at a longer time frame. The only concern is that it was, it was at what, almost 200, and now it's at 120, 111. So that's the only concern, that it's dropped quite a bit, but the setup is nice. You could get another move down to this support here. All right. And if the market holds, right, meaning that if it continues to sell off, what target were you looking at?
My target was right around 70, about 75, 76.
Okay, so you're right there. You're right there.
Yeah, so I'm close to, okay.
Yeah, so this is previous support in this area right in here, which is at 75. All right, so this would be a good target here. I'm curious as far as the longer time frame. So this looks good. Looks very good on the daily. All right, looks very good on the daily. Good job. Let's take a look at the monthly time frame. No, nothing there. Let's take a weekly. So you have a sell short signal on the weekly. Here is the support area that we're looking at right here. Previous resistance, support. So this is a big area here. 75 on the weekly time frame. So this lines up really well. All right, even on the weekly. So that's good. So 75, let's see, 75 is right here. That previous short signal that failed. All right, so this is your target right here. So put together a daily and a weekly. All right, put together a daily and a weekly. and then time it on your 1 hour time frame for entry. You're not in it yet, right?
No, sir. I just saw it today. And
okay.
I saw it after hours. I was like, ooh, that looks like a good setup. So I was waiting to ask in class.
Okay, if you get lucky, this is the next area here of support. So if you get lucky and it breaks this support in here, you would have to get very lucky, right? Yeah, you could go down, you could get it down to about 43,000. Okay, ooh. But that's not, yeah, I mean, $43. What am I saying?
Yeah, no, that would be a fat trade. Okay.
Yeah, and it could happen. It could happen.
Yeah, I will let you know how it goes. I was in net today, short in NET, and actually I've been in it for like a couple weeks.
Okay, give me the symbol again.
NET, and they had earnings today and they missed, and they're down like $9 after hours.
Okay, we'll take a look at that. I want you to let's take a look at the 60-minute time frame on DDOG.
Okay.
All right, and we'll take a look at the 60 and the daily. All right.
Yes, sir.
So, and we'll do this. All right. Okay, so we know we've got we have a sell short signal on the daily. All right. 1 second. Okay, so here is your timing here. All right, so we know you've got a sell short signal on the daily, right? We broke support. You know you've good on the daily. Time it on the 1 hour, right? The 1 hour is oversold right now, right? It's oversold, right?
Okay.
Wait for that buying, because buying will come in as it's oversold. You see here, it moved from 105 here at the bottom to 111. All right, so wait for that, for the price to move higher, probably around, and this is just for your timing. All right, so here is your downward trend line right here. Okay, so wait for it to pull up. It might, if you're lucky, it might get back up to 117, 120. All right, because you're going short, right? So,
yes,
and
sir.
then look for an entry. As long as it holds that channel, right? Look for an entry to get in. All right, and then just watch what the NASDAQ is doing. Okay, so here is your channel. Here is your channel here. So what you're hoping to do is for price to get, right now you're at the bottom of that channel. All right, so it's oversold, right? So wait for the price to get back near the top of the channel, just like it did here before. Look here, guys. You see here, price came down, moved up to the top of that channel right here, moved down, right? Pull back. It's in the downward trend, right? Markdown phase. But when we do this, we can time our entry, right? So rather than getting in at the bottom here, wait, we know we've got a sell short signal on the daily, everything lines up. Now we can go to our 60-minute, 1 hour time frame, wait for the buyers to come back in, get near the top of that channel here, and then wait for the price to start going down and get in. All right.
I like that strategy a lot.
Yeah,
I like that.
This will help you with timing. All right, you're gonna get in the trade, right? But now time your entry, especially if you trading on the daily time frame. Use the 60. I wouldn't use the 4 hour. You might miss some opportunities there, but use the 30. Too much noise on the 30 if you're doing it this way, but 60 works well. All right, 60 works well. We'll take a look at the next one you've got, and then we'll see who else has any stock. So NET, let's take a look here. NET.
Well, if anybody else has a question, I don't want to jump in front of people. I could wait.
Anyone else have a stock while I go through NET? Anyone else? Let's see here, NET. What are you looking to do here?
Oh, I think this company is going to get crushed. So I've been actually going short since late April, I believe.
Okay. So are you in it still?
Yes, sir. I have 2 put contracts.
Okay, good job. All right, good job. So so you're still in it, right? You've got good news here. All right, so you're still in it. And you've got a new sell short signal that came in today. Good job, good job. So similar, very similar, right, to the other, to DDOG, right? So you've got a sell short signal here is pretty good support. So what price did you get in at, Eric?
Hold on, I'll pull up the exact thing, sir. It was I have it right here. I got in at it was a 105 when I got in.
Okay, so you got in. So 105, you got your puts, 105. Right here. So right about here. Good job. So right about here, right at the break of this support here. So here is support, pretty good support in here. So right in here is where you got in. You're still in, right?
Yes,
it's
sir.
at 77. All right. Now, the good news that you've got here is that this is pretty good support here. Resistance, previous resistance, right? When we're going higher, right, becomes support. So support, 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 support. All right. But this time you've got a sell short signal, right? So you do have a sell short signal. All right. It's broken that support, not convincingly. I mean, you still, it's still early, right?
Yeah.
But that's good. You have follow through, right? The good
Yes,
news,
sir.
you did get in early. So
yeah.
That's good. The next area to watch would be, you've got pretty good support in this area here. Once you clear this area, and this is not major support, I think you're fine. I think you're fine for price to move lower. The next big support is right here. So that's at 64, right?
Okay.
64, if, let's see here. I mean, you could get a move like this here. That would be great, right?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I would be elated.
Okay, so let's take a look at the weekly. Look at this on the weekly. So you might have an early move on the weekly, all right? So we just got a sell short signal this week. So this week here on the weekly time frame. So just like your other trade, I would pull up a weekly chart also. Don't trade on the weekly, just watch it for reference, all right? All right, so
yes,
here we've got support. Here on the weekly time frame, this week we have a sell short signal, this red arrow right here. All right, so that looks good. You can get next week, a couple more weeks, you might get it. price to move lower, but watch it on the smaller time frames. Your next major support, you've got some support here. Got some support here, 62. Okay, so you've got some support here, major support at 21. All right.
Oh man, that would be
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on this. I would love to eat that whole move. That would be fantastic.
Yeah. I would just really, it could happen with what the market is doing. If we get a lot of selling to come in, you could get a move, but that will take a while to get it.
Yeah, I'll be patient.
Yeah.
I'll if I get down to the
how long are your contracts? Are you doing
no, I should have, but when I kind of calculated it, my first contracts expire May 20th. So I bought them back in April. So I already got the majority of my move. So I might just cash these in and then open up new ones and probably extend them out to maybe, end of summer or so.
Okay. Good trade. Good job with both these.
Thank you, sir.
Good job. All right. Anyone else? Any symbols? We've got another 5 minutes or so. Any other symbols you guys want to take a look at, or anything else in general? I want to, before we leave, we talked about the dollar, all right? I just want to spend a little time with this, right? So yesterday we talked about the dollar, right? And we got a bit of a pullback. It's holding again, and it's moving higher, all right? So those of you who missed this move, right? Those of you who missed this move in the dollar, do not miss this next move, all right? Because it is starting to move higher again. All right, and if these markets break support, right? If these indexes break support, we could see the dollar move higher. All right, and it's setting up. We have a buy signal right at resistance. Nice big candle, so we know that real buying is coming in. This month here is a monthly time frame. All right, this is our biggest trade right now. Our biggest opportunity right now to trade is the dollar. All right, so here is, and Travis did really good with this, USD CNH, all right? He stayed with this trade, but guess what? What's happening right now is it held, the price held, right? So this is what we're looking at. If the price breaks this resistance, we'll get another buy signal. Okay, so you guys want to be all over these dollar pairs. All right, here was a great trade here. All right, here's another good trade. You can get another good trade trading these dollar pairs.
So Dave, we should watch it on the 240 time frame?
Yeah, watch it on the 240. Watch it on the 240, trade it on the 240. You can always scalp. You can always, you guys can take a big position or just trade the 240, but you can also trade other pairs. So while you're trading this on the 240, you can trade other pairs on the 30-minute. All right, but this could be a really big move. This could be a really big move because look here, look what happened the last time. It broke resistance, right? And we've been talking about this. We've been watching this, okay? I want to, Travis, I don't want to embarrass you, but this here is an amazing trade and you stayed in this trade in the dollar. And I want you guys to, Travis, can you talk about how you were able to stay in this trade? and this was a perfect trade, and you got all of it. So can you just spend like a couple of minutes, not long, kind of going through how you stayed in, how you managed to stay in this trade?
It wasn't easy, but I did a lot of checking on smaller time frames. Like after the I'd say maybe we see that purple resistance line, right up right to the right there. Yep. That had me nervous initially because it was a purple resistance line. And then I just started watching it on closer time frames, and then paying attention to the dollar index. And because the dollar index was doing so well, I just kept staying with it. There was nothing much to do. It kept giving green candles. I was also at the same time, I was also in USD CZK, which is sort of a similar arc. And I got in at the buy signal and out at the sell signal. But yeah, it kind of just kept surprising me that every time it would sort of pull back, it wouldn't pull back far, but every time it pulled back, it would shoot up higher. So it would do like a little pullback, and then the buyers would just like, almost out of spite, the buyers were just pushing it higher and higher. So I just kept staying with it because I knew the buyers were in. And then like every other day, I would check like the index. I was checking on smaller time frames. And so the 240 broke out before the 30 and the 60. But what I noticed was like right around after the purple, the 30 and the 60 started to sort of, at some point, the 30 and the 60 started, both gave buy signals as well, which sort of bolstered my confidence in it. I like to look to make sure that the time frames are in sync. It doesn't always happen, but that to me is like really good confirmation that all the time frames are lining up. Because initially when I got into these, the US dollar pairs weren't all giving buy signals. There was only a few of them. And this one gave a strong candle and it kept going. And so I just kept watching it. And once the index was doing fine, the index wasn't going down, I had, that made me comfortable.
How long have you been trading? How long have you been with us, Travis? What, 4 months, 5 months now?
I've been officially trading since somewhere around February. I want to say the middle or end of February, but I've been like in the classes since probably about October or November of last year. Okay. Like coming to the classes.
Good job. Thanks, Travis. Good job. Good job. Guys, this is a pretty good trade. And the fact that he stuck with the trade is really good. All right. I know we open up the smaller time frames. I don't like doing that. All right, because we do trend following. But I know that as traders, we don't want, it's hard for us to be patient. Okay, but understand these forward time frames, right? This is where you will do really well, okay, on this forward time frame. So Bill, you mentioned the forward time frame. If you guys should stick to it, yes. Especially now when we're seeing a big move like this, big opportunities like the dollar, we want to open up that time frame. All right, because we are anticipating a big move, right? So we want to open up that time frame, right? Not as far as a daily, right? I mean, you can open it up to a daily, but I wouldn't recommend staying in on a daily time frame from open to close unless you trade in stocks. All right, for Forex, because of the way price moves, we need to get out a lot earlier. All right, otherwise we'll give up a lot of profits. But for Forex, that forward time frame works really well. Now, so something like the pound yen that's breaking out, we want to open up that time frame, right? The dollar pairs that we're seeing this big move that's happening in dollar, we want to open up that time frame, right? For other pairs that's consolidating a bit, it's tighter, right? Then we can go to a 30-minute time frame. The only time I recommend, right, if you guys have missed, and we shouldn't miss these opportunities, but if you've missed the opportunity in USD CNH or other pairs, right, that we should be in on the 240, you've missed it, then you can look to get in on the smaller time frames, like on a 30-minute time frame. Okay, but really, really try to hold. That's why I wanted Travis to talk about this, right? So that you can hear how he held the position and stayed with it and not give up on it. All right. And
I held this position for almost a month, and I'd say I think I'm still, that's one of the things I'm learning. I tend to get almost fatigued if it trends for like 2 weeks. I start to get anxious, like, oh, at some point it's gonna give me a buy signal. And so that's why I started looking so early, but after a while it wasn't giving a buy signal and it kept going higher. I just stopped looking for a sell signal. I just stopped looking for a sell signal and just let it play itself out. So about halfway through is when I started, like I had like a breaking point where I stopped looking for sell signals and just decided to let the candles do what they do.
Yeah, and with the forward time frame, the 240, those runs, right? So every time frame, guys, will give us a different length, a different trend length. Okay, so a 30-minute might give us a day, couple of days, right? A 1 hour might give us, let's say, a week max if we catch a nice run. On the 240, right, the forward time frame, the average run, if we catch a trend, it's going to be 30 days. Okay, sometimes we might get a month and a half. All right, so a tip, Travis, the next time, right? So let's say you're in it, you're 2 weeks in, right? You're 2 weeks in, all green candles, right? Just be patient, right? Because it will give you, this is almost a month. All right, so the way the time frames work, they will give you, if the trend holds, right? If the trend holds, with the 240, it's not exact, right? So if we get a sell like this one here, held about, this trade here was about 3 weeks, right? 2.5, almost 3 weeks. So we still get out when we get the sell signal if they don't last 30 days, all right? However, just know that you can relax in the trade. If it's on the 240, all green candles, buyers are in control, you're in that markup phase, you can just relax, all right? I know it's hard.
Travis, did you stay until the sell signal? Did you stay right to the bitter end?
Yeah, I got out at the red candle, that big red candle at the top.
Wow, good for you, man.
Yeah, so yeah, Travis got out yesterday, right? He got out yesterday. All right. Hey, Corey, as far as coaching, just send me a text. All right, 407-733. I'll put it here in the chat here. Okay. So thanks, Corey. Let's take a look. I want to do this quickly, and then we'll end for this evening. Watch, and everyone, watch this resistance here. All right. Now we're seeing similar move with the other dollar pairs. I like the way this one moves. ZAR moves pretty well too, but ZAR is a bit more expensive and it's a bit more volatile, all right? But USD CNH moves really well. It is testing resistance right here, Okay, so look for on the 240, wait for a buy signal. If you guys get the buy signal, you want to get in the trade. Okay, and just let it do its thing. All right. Let's take a look at a quick look. I want to take a quick look at the weekly time frame. Okay, so look at the weekly time frame, guys. And I'm just curious. I haven't looked at this, but look what's happening here on the weekly time frame. All right. So here is support right here on the weekly time frame. Look at this markdown phase. You guys see that? Look at this markdown phase on the weekly time frame. All right. Here is accumulation. So this is early move, right? Right, here's accumulation. Let's move this up a bit right here. Here's accumulation, markdown phase, buy signal here on a break of this resistance. Here is your big candle. Here's your confirmation that buyers are in. Travis, look at a weekly time frame also on this. Okay, so put a weekly time frame together. You guys should do that too, right? Okay, so watch that weekly. All right, so that's your confirmation. All right, and that will help you guys stay in the trade. All right, so watch you can do a side by side. Okay, smaller time frames, 30, 60 for your timing, for your confirmation, larger time frame so that you can see the whole trade. All right. Here is your resistance right up here. So this should be your target right up here. Here is your resistance. There is really nothing stopping you. You have some resistance in here, previous support right here, previous sell signal right here, previous sell signal right here. So you might get, I don't think it will stop, but you might get a bit of resistance in this area in here. All right. But guess what? You've got a nice, even if it gets up in this area in here, nice trading. Okay. So this is your trade right here. And then this is your target right here. Here is your support. Here is your resistance. All right. We don't count this. Right. This is just your high, but here is your resistance here. Here is your support, right? The goal is here, just like it did here previously. All right. So let's do this. We're going to bring this down, right? So boom, boom, here to here, now here to here. All right. Good job, guys. All right, get on these dollar pairs, right? We talked about this last night. Get on these dollar pairs. Let's make some money. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, good job. Hey, Eric, good job. Very good job. Travis, good job. Everyone else, good job. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, take care.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Travis.